Welcome, everybody, to the Purple People Podcast. It is Monday, December 8th, 2025, and I can't believe it. It's already December, boys. Weird. It's snowing in Virginia. It's crazy out. I
I
don't
was
pay
wrapping
attention.
gifts today, so I know what you guys are
Ooh,
talking about.
nice. Yeah, I don't pay attention to any sort of news or like weather or anything. I like to be surprised, I guess. And then I got to work, and they're like, "Oh yeah, school was canceled today." I was like, "For what?" And then I look out like straight down one of the terminals, and it's just all glass, and I could just see like, "Oh shit, it's gonna snow today." And that was right when the sun came up, maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock, and it hasn't stopped snowing since. And I was telling Kyle, Adam, you hadn't joined yet. Virginia doesn't prepare for this stuff, so I'm glad that I have groceries in my house because this is like, oh my God, we have to buy all the milk, bread, and eggs at the store kind of weather, and I don't understand why the South does that. But that's what we got going on here in Virginia.
Yeah, at Thanksgiving we got about 2 feet.
I don't know what I legitimately don't know what I would do in that.
You
I
don't
think,
do anything with it. You just look at it and you're like,
You
huh,
stay home
that,
and put on horror movies. That's what you
yeah.
do.
You go, that's a lot of snow. And then you don't worry about it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. I guess after thousands of years of that, you're probably like, yeah, there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
No.
Oh well,
What can you do about the Minnesota Vikings?
I'll tell you what I'm going on a little bit of a side quest today. Don't buy this. All right, I have a rant about the age and the current social era that we're in, especially with social media. You know what? It really grinds my gears these days. Anybody with an iPhone can just do an ad on TikTok or Instagram, and I wish that it would go away because we have given up on any kind of authenticity in this society, and it literally drives me fucking insane. It's just, hey, I'm reading off a script. I want you to buy some shitty product. Please buy this. And if they would just say that,
Which
I would be
brings us
so
to
happy.
today's sponsored segment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jergens lotion. No, I hate it so much, and that's what I feel for this. I'm never going to be upset that a team wins a football game. They should have beat this team. The Commanders are not good. But what I don't like is, and I'll just flat out say it, I think they dumbed the playbook down for this quarterback so
Well,
bad
yeah.
yesterday. And hey, that should answer one of your questions, Kyle. Can the coach adapt? Yesterday proved he can actually make a game plan that works. What I don't like is wasting a Hall of Famer's career because the quarterback's too dumb to figure it out. And that's the juxtaposition that you're going to have to live with. Yes, J.J. McCarthy looked great yesterday. Yes, the team won. After losing three, 4 games in a row, you're like, hey, can we get back on track? Cool. But do not buy this. This game was fool's gold, and they will soon be humbled. I just
Well,
want that to be known.
it, uh, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit from last week. Boy, this is the life of a Vikings fan. They make you feel one way one week, and then the next week they make you feel an entirely different way about the quarterback position and JJ McCarthy and what should the team do. I think that the dumbing down of the playbook and seeing McCarthy go out on the field and actually look competent and look like a pro is what they should have done back in week 1 and week 2 and week 3 of the regular season. Like, I now am leaning more towards in the camp of they kind of set McCarthy up to fail earlier on in the season. I'm putting that on Kevin O'Connell.
I don't know if they set him
And
up to fail, but they definitely had higher expectations than they probably should have.
right. And it's disappointing that it took them this long to figure out, hey, maybe here's what we need to do to put the kid in a position to succeed. And I was happy to see JJ McCarthy go out on the field and succeed. I want him to be the guy. I want someone to be the guy for the Minnesota Vikings, and we've already drafted him. So I am going to stick with him continuing to need to get this opportunity to prove himself.
But we were talking about getting Justin Jefferson involved, and he got a couple looks, but what was it, 4 throws his way?
For
It wasn't a big number, but he was out there and he played his distraction role very well. He
he
opened things
did.
up for the rest of the offense, and when you saw him on the sideline, he was smiling, dancing, having a good time. You wouldn't even know there was a problem.
I mean,
And
if you're
there
getting paid $35 million a year to get 4 yards one game and 11 the next, you don't have to really do much. But I know that's not the cloth from which he's cut, and that's my only thing is
I
I think going forward, and we're kind of foreshadowing to like off-season talk. I do believe J.J. McCarthy is going to be here next year regardless. Is he going to be the starter? I would probably bet no. But I think it's a very heavy discussion that Kevin O'Connell's going to have to say to him and behind his closed doors that they'll never admit to and say, hey, listen, this year was a one-off. We will right the ship. Please trust me. Don't beg for a trade. We will get you your targets. We'll get you yards. We'll get you better options next year. But we had to see what we had with the kid. You got to understand from my point of view. And I think that's the discussion that's going to be had come January, February, March, whenever they have these talks. But right now, I'm with you. JJ McCarthy, this is your show until the season is over. And I hope you look competent enough to where it doesn't look like a complete disaster.
But it's not like receivers aren't getting targets. I mean, Jordan Addison's getting looks. Speedy Naylor's getting a couple looks here and there.
Ty Felton caught some balls yesterday.
There are footballs to go around.
The problem here is that we're so late into the season for them to finally be figuring something like this out that we've already all formulated opinions on who J.J. McCarthy is and what he can and cannot do. And I know you've brought up this point, and it's an excellent point that, hey, he's missed time due to injury, and yes, that counts as well, too, for him being behind the curve on where he should be. But you're still only looking at, 8 starts for this kid now? Mm-hmm. And it sucks that we all have such bold opinions on him. And Smith, you're not wrong on your opinion on saying they should move on from him. And I'm not wrong on saying that, well, maybe they need to stick with him a little more. And Adam, you're not wrong on your opinion on J.J. McCarthy. Like, that's
on the fence.
That's the frustrating part with this right now, is that I don't know what the clear-cut right solution is for the team.
Hey, Kyle, can you tell the rest of the entire country in every comment section, especially political ones, to do what you just did? Because that's the craziest thing I've ever heard, because you just made sense and you said, hey, I agree, but mine's also cool too. And now it's like, well, God, we're just getting along having one big kumbaya right now. Weird how that works.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'm not saying that you should get, as soon as January hits, you should be like, you're off the team. Cool. You made an investment. You're correct. By the end of it, he'll have, 12 starts. Yes, I think you should weigh in the injury time because availability is the best ability, blah, 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 all the cliches. But here's where I go a little off the rails, but I think I have a solid point to make my kind of presentation. I haven't seen an RG3 or Andrew Luck sort of big splash of holy shit, the dude can play, or he plays a certain style very well. I haven't had any moment like that where I'm like, this kid blew me away. He just had an ACL. He had an Achilles. So I'm leaning more on I just don't think you're a starter in the league, but maybe I should afford you the time to at least develop. I am being talked into welcoming him back on the team, but I am heavy as hell on the discussion we had last week of Kwesi needs to go, and they need to go get a free agent somewhere or trade for a quarterback that is competent enough to run the offense. Because if you like Justin Jefferson, you want him to stay. J.J. McCarthy is not the way forward. And if he proves me wrong in 2 years and they say, damn, let me give you a scenario. Let me go on a rant here. Let's say they go and get Mac Jones, Kyler Murray, ex-quarterback who's wherever, and he comes in for 12 games and lights it the hell up. And then it's J.J. McCarthy time, and everyone's like, oh, shit, here comes 9, blah, blah, blah. And then for some reason, he rounded the corner this offseason. He worked on his feet. He didn't throw 99-mile-an-hour fastballs. And he comes in and wins you 4 of your last 5 games. And the Vikings are 12-5. And you're like, did McCarthy look competent and smooth? Is he the answer? Make me have that question. But right now, my thing is, I'd rather go trade for Mac Jones.
Now, I know Washington's defense isn't very good, and
Thank you.
Washington in general is struggling this year, but it's got to be kind of comforting to see J.J. McCarthy come out and have a solid game, even if it's against competition that isn't, as good as some of the others that he's played.
I agree, Adam.
You guys kind of wonder, is this him playing good against bad competition, or is this development from him?
You hope it's development. That's what you're hoping, is that, hey, he's taking a step in the right direction. And I believe that every game in the NFL is tough. Even a bad Washington defense is still a Washington defense.
An NFL defense.
An NFL defense. If you put that NFL defense against a college team, they would shut them down immediately out there on the field. That's the gap in in talent level out there. So it's still a pro team. And to like we were talking about, Smith, last week, you can't convince an NFL team to tank. You cannot do it. So I know there are fans out there saying, oh, well, Washington's already in tank mode, and, like, they don't care. They're checked out. Like, maybe to an extent players might check out, but you don't convince 53 NFL players to just go out there and tank a football game. That does not happen.
But how weird is it to go from being shut out to pitching a shutout?
Yeah, when's the last time that happened? Did y'all see that stat yesterday? It hadn't been done in
Ever.
like a long time.
Yeah.
And you know what? That perfectly sums up this team. Remember earlier in the year, they went into Detroit and beat the Mighty Lions, and then not even a month before that, they beat the dog shit out of the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, Isaiah Rodgers had one of the single greatest quarter performances in NFL history, and then some of these games, like the Atlanta game at home to open the season, you're like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
This was supposed to be the template for the Minnesota Vikings this season on how to win games early. Yep. We're going to put some jumbo sets out on the field, and we're going to run the ball down your throat with our two running backs. We're going to give McCarthy some kind of easy throws to his tight ends, and we're going to get enough of a lead to let our defense pin their ears back and let Brian Flores do Brian Flores things with his defense, and then all of a sudden it's Andrew Van Ginkel getting the pick and Harrison Smith getting the pick, and that's what this team was supposed to be all along.
I want to get into that. I'm trying not to jump around because I just got an amazing text, and it doesn't have anything to do with the Vikings, but I am going to throw it with the show. But I'm happy. I watched a little bit of the game. I'll be honest, man. I've lost a lot of my fun and my fire for the team this year. They pissed me off a lot. So I was cleaning a lot. I was very sick last week. And by the fourth day of sitting at home, I'm like, I got to do something besides watch Netflix. So I was cleaning the garage, walking around, and I pretty much knew the Vikings. At 24-0, you're like, well, the Commanders aren't winning this game. So, but yeah, it was cool. I saw the Van Ginkel pick, and then I heard on my TV from downstairs Harrison Smith got a pick, and I was like, that's got to be like 30-something, which I think it was, his 38th career pick, which is nuts.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And wasn't this like one of the shortest NFL games in a long time?
Well, shit. Vikings had, a 12-minute drive at one point?
They had a 19-play drive at one point.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because they were looking and they're like, was this game only like 3 hours or 3.5 hours or something like that? It's like, yeah.
That's hilarious. I like that, though. That, you know what that means? There's not a lot of penalties and not a lot of miscues. And that's like
and it means you ran the football.
That, too.
You played defense and you ran the football.
Running game and not a bunch of
Why
penalties.
did it take us this long to figure out how to do that?
But this is positive stuff to build in. So you got to think like the teams that we've ragged on the last 5 to 10 years, like the Panthers or whomever. They look good. They can win the NFC South after New Orleans went to Tampa Bay and won yesterday. They're tied with Tampa Bay. This is the stuff that a medium to bad team, maybe they're out of the playoffs by December like we are. We're pretty much out of it now. But let's say we win 3 out of our last 4 games this year. That'll be a positive thing going into next year.
Yeah, the loser of that game against Washington was eliminated from the playoffs. Washington's out.
Oh, yeah.
That's rough.
So here's my question for you guys that I wanted to bring up, and you kind of already touched upon it, Smith. The dumbing down of the offense for J.J. McCarthy, which I still kind of think the phrase dumbing down is a bit of a disservice.
I would just say simplify.
It's more simplified, adjusting to what you should probably be doing for your young quarterback, but we'll say they dumbed it down for him. Is that I'm going to make reference to when the Denver Broncos had Tim Tebow at quarterback, and it was, we don't believe in your ability to pass the football, so we are dumbing it down to the point of this is all you can run, and we pretty well know, regardless of the outcome, that we're going after a Peyton Manning or someone else next year. Do you think that's what Kevin O'Connell is at right now with the Vikings, where it's like, you can't run my offense, so I'm going to trim it down to the point that we're not comfortable with. I don't care what the outcome is. We're going after someone else next year. Are we at that point?
I feel like Kevin O'Connell entered this game against Washington with that early script just to see how J.J. McCarthy would handle it. And when he came out and he was able to play and not turn the ball over, which was the biggest thing in this game because the giveaways have been terrible for Minnesota. but when he came in and played competently and didn't turn the ball over, I think he wanted to put a little bit more on his plate right there, but the way McCarthy was playing, I think you kind of got to let him settle in and make those throws and gain that confidence.
Yep.
To your point, here's my negative on it. I liked that the Vikings won yesterday because I think you should. It's kind of like for the Patriots this year. They look really good. I think they're the 1 seed in the AFC. But the knock on them is they haven't played anybody. First of all, let's clear that. I've said this 10 times on this podcast. We'll say it 11. NFL teams don't get to pick their schedules.
You play who you play.
If they lost to the shitty teams, you would talk shit about them. But when they beat the shitty teams, they're not good. Fuck you. That's not how this conversation works. That's all it is. You're dumb. Stop talking. The other part of this is yesterday, okay, if they had entered this season and done this game plan of we're going to tailor make the offense to J.J. McCarthy, Jefferson, you're not going to have a year like you got, hey, cool. Maybe the Vikings are like 7-6 right now. Okay, cool. My problem with that is look at what you had last year and look at what you had this year. That team last year couldn't win a playoff game. Do you think the dumbed-down McCarthy version of this team is going to get in the playoffs and do anything? I don't think so. Now, maybe if you had all-star personnel like the Eagles do, eventually you could get to that. But my whole thing is I don't want to see this team be a wild card 1-and-out anymore because we're turning into the NFC version of the fucking Steelers. I don't accept that as a fan.
I don't know. Minnesota's beaten Detroit. They've beaten Chicago. They've beaten some pretty good teams.
Yeah, but then they didn't beat Chicago, and then they lost to Atlanta, and then they did this. Like, yeah, it's cool. I'm not discounting what you said.
Atlanta probably ain't going to be there.
Yeah. I am not going to win many fans with my next statement that I'm going to make here, Smith. And I kind of told you where I wanted to go with this. You know what, guys? I don't want a 1-year Band-Aid quarterback and like a Mac Jones to come in. Like, I don't want that. Hey, he's good enough to get us 11, 12 wins and then get knocked out of the wild card. And then, oh, hey, it was a 1 year like Sam Darnold. And then we don't know what we're doing. Like, see, because I don't think that this game plan with McCarthy was we're dumbing the playbook down because we don't believe in you at all. And we're doing the Tebow thing and like you're gone regardless. I think this was Kevin O'Connell finally coming to terms with, hey, I started you out on quantum physics, okay, and you needed to come back down to applied science level here a little bit. Get back to base, get back to where we're supposed to be. Get the kid some confidence and roll forward with him.
Yeah, if he's as good a coach as we think he is, and I think selfishly he thinks he is, he should have done this a lot sooner. I don't think you can build a Michigan team in the NFL with the roster we have. Like Philadelphia did it, but that's also a discredit to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is much better than J.J. McCarthy.
I don't know if you could. I don't know if you can't. But he's the kid that we drafted, and now I feel like I can place more blame on the situation that he was put in. And I'm looking at this going, I don't want a Mac Jones. I don't want Geno Smith. I don't want Russell Wilson. Like, I don't want to bring in these 1 year sort of like.
But here's my argument to that.
Because
that's
not
what you
gonna,
had last
but
year.
and you're not gonna win with that though.
But
so
you won 14 games with him though. You're winning. McCarthy looks like borderline backup worthy at the moment.
But I don't think there was any plan ever for McCarthy to be the backup to Sam Darnold last season. Yeah. I don't think that was ever the plan.
Yeah, but look at how they. Let me say this realistically without being mean. Looking at how Sam Darnold played last year and looking at how McCarthy played, having a year to learn that, you really think he was going to beat Sam Darnold out? There was less than 0% chance of that.
Oh, you think there was going to be a competition?
Yeah.
There was not going to be a competition.
Which is why
McCarthy and Darnold, you think they were just going to give it to McCarthy?
Yeah, yeah. Look,
last year?
No, this year.
This year.
Last year was never even a thought. Sam Darnold was the backup.
Here's the thing, Adam. We saw how it looks. You can say that he's going to be the starter, and guess what happens? That's how you fire yourself as a coach.
So
because everybody on that team would be like, "This is the fucking kid that you're starting. Did Sam not throw 35 touchdowns last year, and you're starting that?"
To continue my unpopular opinion, I'm just going to keep digging this trench even deeper right now. Like, the reason why I am out on like a Mac Jones kind of thing is because, guys, we've done that. Like, do you think we're going to win the Super Bowl with Mac Jones? No, I don't. So I am not interested in going out there and, oh, we won a wild card game and then we got knocked out of it. Give me McCarthy for another season. What's the worst that happens? We have a top 3 draft pick, and we get a draft.
No, it's going to do what you're doing right now, and then we're going to be 15th again.
Hold on. The worst that happens is we get like a top 3 draft pick, and we draft another quarterback, and then McCarthy's gone. Jefferson is getting paid. I really, truly don't care what he thinks at this point. Like, you're getting paid. You're getting paid to be on the team, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You signed the cut. You knew it
and
was
he
Minnesota.
doesn't seem unhappy right now.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yep.
Winning helps a lot of that.
Or,
absolutely.
Or maybe McCarthy continues on a trajectory where he continues to grow and develop, and you're going to continually add more pieces to him out there. And
so I know this is completely unrelated. I'm jumping around a lot, but it's on my mind, so I got to ask you guys. Is what happened to Daniel Jones going to be essentially what happened to Kirk Cousins?
Oh, God, I hope not.
Because Daniel Jones tore his Achilles, I believe.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yep.
You know what? I've dogged on him in the show 100 times because they beat us in the playoffs, and I'll be honest, I don't know how they won anything that year because he was not very good. But as a human being, he's a stand-up guy. He's one of the dudes, and I feel awful now. So I'm like, he doesn't deserve that. You know who I feel worse for? The Colts fans.
The Colts of Anthony Richardson, he's still on injured reserve from having that rubber band hit him in the eye.
Well, this is a great segue, Adam, because this is the text I just got. Guess who's working out for the Colts tomorrow?
Who?
Oh boy,
Phillip Rivers.
No way.
He's 44. Yes, I want this to happen so bad. Please let him come out with his weird throwing motion and help them win 2 or 3 more games.
I still can't believe a rubber band to the eye took out Anthony Richardson.
That would be like if the Vikings were like, hey, Byron Leftwich is coming out of retirement to play for us.
I'm dying at this. My brother texts me, he's like, guess what? It's like, tell us that on your podcast. And you brought up the Colts. I'm like, there it is. 44-year-old Phillip Rivers is going to work out for they might not say yes, but technically they're still in it. I mean, they are right in the thick of the race for the hunt. So that is unfortunate, and we send all of the love to Daniel Jones. You know, I run my mouth a lot because it's what I do, but I feel bad for him.
If Tom Brady wasn't partial owner in the Raiders right now, do you think they would have called Tom Brady?
Oh, I would have.
Yeah.
All I can do is say no.
Yeah.
So I got to go back.
I'm glad that Daniel Jones got those starts, and Minnesota can get that comp pick from that, but. Honestly, I was really looking forward to seeing what the Colts could do. They have several former Vikings on their team, and they looked like a solid contender. I mean, Jonathan Taylor is an absolute monster, but did you guys watch that game last night? That Houston Texans defense, wow.
Yeah.
You hate to say it because, it feels like we have such an old school year this year in the NFL where – like J.J. McCarthy yesterday had 126 or 63 yards. Like it's not a very pass friendly year this year, and I'm sure it'll.
Shador had 300.
Yeah,
we gotta talk about Kevin Stefanski. What a
4 touchdowns.
What a fucking
4 touchdowns,
that was.
Adam. Yeah.
But it feels like a team getting hot at the right time could be one of those surprise teams that comes around because you forget just how important a good backup is. Davis Mills came in and went 3-0 with them, and kept them alive. And that defense is just disgusting. And guess what? I saw the PFF grade for Daniil Hunter. He's still top 10 out of like 60 defensive ends. Weird. Shout out to you, buddy.
That team is still gross. Is the Rams? They're still monsters.
Oh yeah.
That game started out like, damn, is Arizona going to give them a hard time? And then about the right at the start of the half, you're like, never mind. This is exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Proves how unpredictable the NFL is. Remember when we were talking about Matthew Stafford maybe having a bit of a back injury coming into this season?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe being a little over the hump in terms of playing ability. Turns out he's fine.
I didn't draft him because of that back injury.
I got him off of injured or not injured reserve. I got him because nobody drafted him because of the injury. I started my fantasy year with Brock Purdy and Trevor Lawrence. No, Bo Nix and Trevor Lawrence. And I can tell you by about week 3, I was done with both of them. And I picked up Daniel Jones when they got hot, and I picked up Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford's been winning a lot of games for me this year.
Oh,
I tell you what, I do feel for anyone who had Justin Jefferson in fantasy this season.
Hey, I played against someone with Justin Jefferson, so I'm okay with it.
Oh, man.
I will say, as much kudos as I give my brother that he was giving me this info, I got to shame him a little bit on the show. What commissioner of a fantasy football league makes the playoffs while there's still buys going on? Because somebody had Christian McCaffrey on their bench this week.
Oh, I do too.
What the fuck, man? I give him crap for that, but one of the guys in the league was like, "Why did you do this? Why did you do that? You should have this." And we were like, "Hey, bro, you could have been this commissioner for the league. Why didn't you do that?" So if you're going to be the commissioner of a fantasy football league, for reference, don't make your playoffs start until after the last bye. Carolina, San Francisco, a couple other teams had buys this late in the season. So yeah, sorry, David. That's rough. Not a good year overall for Vikings related anything, but
hopefully it's one of those fantasy leagues where you get to keep your players every year, and you can just let Jefferson ride the bench and hope for better luck next season.
I will say before we start game balls and donkeys, I want to go back to your point, Kyle. I love going back and forth with this because I don't know. I see your guys' points. There's no right or wrong. My point of it is like I'm just of the camp that you don't ever have to be dedicated to a draft pick. And I know that's fucked up because it's these kids' livelihood, but I'm kind of like NFL autistic in the way. Like I only look at numbers and math 99% of the time. What does the probability tell me? And that's probably not the best way to do it, like being the safe bet. But when it comes to the draft, like almost everything is off, and most of these quarterbacks aren't going to stick around for long anyways. And I'm like, F these picks, man. Like I don't care. You've been on the team for 2 years, and you did what? So, yeah, it's tough because like you said, you have a great point. I don't know if we've developed him enough. It's not even I don't know. We haven't developed him enough yet. And certainly after yesterday's win, you can spin it into a negative. Like, so you fixed the offense and catered it to him this game. Where were you the previous 13 weeks? Like
that's my big takeaway. So if they would have pared the offense clear down and McCarthy came out and still wasn't able to perform, if he's still sailing balls, if he's still got too much zip on him, and he's still throwing interceptions and looking terrible, I would be sitting here today going, they're trying as hard as they can, and he still can't do it. It's the fact that they looked competent, and they looked like where they should have looked, where I go, okay, now I have to give this kid a little more leeway to see what he can do, to see what they can come up with him.
I think the best analogy I have, and we'll do game balls and donkeys after this, is I like the UFC a lot, and it's really weird. Like MMA math doesn't work. You can lose to one guy and then beat this guy, and then all three of you could have lost to each other in that weird thing. You're like, well, I don't know who the best is here.
Yeah.
And you have like a certain prime, and I think every NFL team is much like a UFC fighter individually, where once you know you're in that window, it's tough to look at a team like last year that largely looked like this one roster-wise, and then see like, well, hey, we can win games with J.J. McCarthy when I feel like we're making ourselves into a Honda Civic, but I had, an Escalade, and I'm like, no, that one's clearly better. I want that one. And it's like, yeah, but I'm getting you from A to B. Cool.
Wait, so these cars are UFC fighters?
That too. See, don't get inside my brain, Adam. I don't even know what's going on in here. But like, you get
you did switch analogies.
Oh, 100%. I can put it back to the fighting stuff, but I don't know if you guys would get any of the references I'm saying. But like, I like the guys that maybe aren't the champion, but they're right there. Like Dustin Poirier is my favorite fighter of all time. He's traditionally a boxer, right? But there's a window where you're going to fight for a title. And then there's like the back half of your career where you're like, well, I still can fight. My body's great, but I don't know that I'm going to beat like the top 5. So I'm going to be ranked in the top 15, and I'm still going to fight contenders. This is for my legacy. I feel like this year's Vikings team is like that, where they're like, no, we can compete. Like the defense is still really good, but obviously we're having some struggles on offense. And of course I missed the 14-3 version of last year because 99% of the time I was like, no, the Vikings will probably beat the shit out of whoever they're playing, or they'll at least be in it. There's been a lot of games this year where I'm like, this isn't watchable, and that discouraged me to the point where I was like, even I'm thinking about, is the coach, does he know what he's doing? And then I'm like, no, hold on. They dropped the ball this year. At the end of the day, you say, okay, I don't think they game planned correctly for some of these things, and I think it can be said, even if the coaches don't admit it, okay, we misjudged McCarthy. We really have to refine some mechanics, and we have a new thing to focus on. I just hope they have the wherewithal to admit that and like actually attack it in the offseason. You know what I mean? I think they're aware of that.
So are the Vikings like the Jake Paul of fighting, or where are we at?
I will leave right now, Adam. Don't you ever bring that bum up again. Oh, he knows how to make money, though.
He sure does.
Oh, he's very rich. He's a douchebag, but he's a rich douchebag. All right, we're like 30 minutes into it. Let's do some game balls.
I want to throw one crazy stat at you here, though. Did you know that Justin Jefferson only used to average 47.5 yards through the last 4 games to get 1,000?
47 yards. I think we could
You
do that.
can do that. Yeah.
He's bound to have one of those games where he gets like 100 and some change. He won't score a touchdown that game because he never does. But he'll get like 100 one of those games and he can even it out.
Josh Oliver's going to steal them all.
Who had Josh Oliver scoring twice yesterday?
Yeah, David, do you have Josh Oliver on your fantasy team? You bench Jefferson for Oliver. You probably get more points that way.
Also, I'm going to keep this up until you guys comment. Do you like this? Do you like this?
Oh, no.
This one's hilarious.
Yeah, I like that one.
See, I like that split screen vertically if they had it like this where we could still read at the bottom where it was bigger. This one kind of takes away. I don't know. These are fun. I'm like a little kid in a candy store right now.
I like the one that we're used to.
We can do that.
Well, I'm sure you could find someone who would trade Jefferson with you. Actually, maybe not at this point.
Yeah. I don't know who to pick in this game, so I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll figure it out.
I'll start. I'm going to give my game ball to Harrison Smith. You know what, guys? Like the interception, that's a good play for him to come up with, and you can tell. And this is why I'm giving it to him in his post game. Man, he is at the end of his career. He is exhausted. He is beat. But man, he's one of my favorite Vikings of all time, and this might be one of the last opportunities that we have on the show to give him a game ball. So I got to give a shout out to Harrison Smith for just going out there and sticking through a season that's not headed the way that we wanted to, but still being that pro, still going out there on the field and making those plays. He is.
He could have went and demanded a trade to go somewhere to contend. He could have done it.
Right. He is 1,000% headed into the Vikings Ring of Honor after he retires, and you can make an incredibly strong case for him going into the Hall of Fame.
For sure.
And I hope he gets that opportunity. So game ball, shout out to Harrison Smith. We love you here on the podcast, and we will miss you after this season.
You know how they always say it's good to be great at one thing? Well, there isn't a whole lot better at jumping routes than Andrew Van Ginkel. There really isn't.
Yeah.
First play as a Viking, or not first play, but first game as a Viking, I remember picking off Daniel Jones. And I was like, what just happened? It's happened so fast.
And
my goodness.
Quarterbacks keep throwing the ball his way, and he keeps getting a hand on it. Sometimes he gets it, sometimes he don't. But no matter what, he is disruptive, and he had one heck of a game. Johnson Grenard, which I'll give away my donkey right there. I felt like he couldn't get things done on his side, but Van Ginkel was able to compensate a little bit and get things done on the other side. And together, that's when you got two guys that can work together. When one is having an off day, the other one picks up the slack.
I'm giving my donkey to Jay Ward. I don't like that hit that he put on Zach Ertz. That was that one of those reckless kind of Andrew Sandejo just launching yourself at someone kind of plays. And I know football is a bang physical sport. You can't always stop that momentum, but NFL's got to do something about those kind of hits in particular. And you hate to see someone get injured that way, especially Ertz, who's everything I've heard about him is he's a hell of a nice guy. He's a veteran. And
how much responsibility do you put on the quarterback too for throwing those hospital balls?
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I don't like that hit.
My best friend asked me that yesterday. He goes, "This is a dirty hit." I said, "I don't. I think this is
Oh,
a
I mean,
product of the NFL. Is you can't go anywhere
you
from
can't
near
go.
him,
I
and
know.
based on where Zach is in the air, you're going to aim because when he comes down, God forbid you go face mask to face mask." I was like, I don't think the intention was dirty. Maybe the
I don't think
execution could have been better,
the.
but
He was one. I mean, he was Andrew Sandejo out there, like
He was.
just launch yourself. Don't look at where you're going. Just
yeah,
launch
yeah.
yourself.
Did you ever
Now,
buy one of those "Make Football Violent Again" shirts or
no, I
Dude,
hats?
didn't.
I want one of those hats. Those are sick.
But I mean, flip the script here a little bit, guys. If that was Justin Jefferson who got hit like that,
Oh, we'd be pissed.
we would be pissed
We'd be
right now
riling.
on the podcast. So I mean, it's that's where I'm going with my game.
And Lions
my
fans are all
donkey.
like, you can't say anything about Kirby Joseph anymore. It's like, yeah, we can.
Sure, we can. We still will. I didn't get to give away my game ball, so I am going to give mine to the best player on the team this year, Will the Thrill.
Kicker?
Will the
Yeah,
Thrill.
you
I
betcha.
mean, isn't it like this? Anytime the team is in shambles and the year is just effed and gone away, we're like, well, the kicker's good this year. That rules. So, yeah. What was it? 4-4 on field goals, or I'm sorry, let me see. Did I have that backwards? Extra points, 4 out of 4, 1 field goal, and from 45. I mean, as surefire as anything on this team. Will the Thrill, I love you. I don't know about a donkey. I don't know. I have to think about it.
You can give it to JJ McCarthy for being JJ McCarthy.
No, I
Since
thought I was going
since
to
you
give him
hate
my
him,
game ball, but
you
I
hate
can't.
him so much.
I do hate him. I don't want him. I don't want him as my quarterback, but I'm gonna support him because that's what a good fan is supposed to do. Yeah, go ahead, Adam. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, I already gave mine away.
Oh, your donkey. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take
Renard,
that. I'm
right?
gonna take that.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Jonathan Mahala answer here, and I'll give it to myself for being a negative Nancy and not being more positive on this team. All right. I need to find something to cheer about, even though the season is basically lost. I'll try to be more positive.
Well, every expert on the pregame picked Washington to win too, so don't feel bad.
I kind of felt bad for Jaden Daniels. It felt a little bit like they did what the Vikings did with Carson Wentz to him. There were a couple times he was getting up after those hits where you could kind of see him grabbing the shoulder a little bit. It didn't seem to me like he was 100% healthy and maybe should have been out on the field playing. You know that?
Well, when Mariota got in there, he did all right.
Mariota. Thank you, Andrew. He says Will the Thrill is 59 of 59 for extra points this year. Crazy.
I mean, we just need to right the universe and get rid of him and bring in a kicker who can't kick. Because that's the only way we can be. We
You
can't
can't
be
have
good.
a good kicker and a good quarterback.
You know what,
Yeah.
Kyle? That's the key to
Yeah.
getting to the divisional round and losing. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Let's go get Younghoe Koo. I'm sure he needs a job.
Oh God, how did he not break his toe?
That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen involving a kicker.
And then he blamed the
Weirdest.
placeholder.
Did he really?
Yeah. He blamed the placeholder.
Did he put you in hypnosis and make you stand and walk funny? Like what the? That's crazy. Like
He tried to say the whole process, the snap was wonky and the ball didn't get played.
what
Dude,
a lack of
just-
accountability.
just-
Looked fine to me.
Me too. What do I know? But it looked good to me. Just own up to it and be like, hey, I fucked up.
Wow.
I misjudged my kick. It happens.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That
David
makes
says,
me
"Talk
wish-
to KOC for not doing this game plan sooner."
Adam, that makes me long for the days of NFL films and Steve Sable, because we could have the NFL Follies for 2025 would be that kick with some funny sound effect going on in the
Oh
background.
yeah.
Why don't they do that anymore?
And they'd put like Lucy holding the football for him or something.
Yeah. How
So-
come everything fun in life is gone? Like, where are my football folly videos?
I had two things to share with y'all, and I'll talk about some of these comments in a second. But shout out to MN Vikings Nation on Instagram. These are cool. They have good graphics on there too. I like that page. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell referred to this last night, but not so much of the difference yesterday was on third down. Team converted 54.5% in third down attempts, the highest mark of the season.
Turns out when you run the football on third down,
When you convert and keep your team on the field, weird. Highest mark of the season. They entered the game 31st in the NFL in third down conversion rate. That's part of the reason the team has sucked a bag of dicks this year. 3 and outs, baby. Yeah, those aren't good. They are not eliminated, and I'm going to read this one to you because this is hilarious.
They're eliminated, but
They are. They are. They are.
continue. I continue.
But here we go. Vikings win out. They have to win the rest of their games, which let's bring it up here. Sorry, I should have had this better prepared. So they have 4 games left. They are at the Cowboys for Sunday Night Football.
Win.
At the Giants.
Win.
Home for the Lions. Home for the Packers.
Win.
There you go.
I
Winning
don't see a
out.
loss. I don't see a loss.
I don't see one.
Yep.
They need to get a lot of help though. Week 15, the Browns need to beat the Bears. The Rams need to beat the Lions. That's pretty sustainable. Week 16, the Packers need to beat the Bears. That could happen. The Steelers need to beat the Lions. I don't know about that one.
Probably not.
Week 17, 3 things need to happen. The Commanders need to beat the Cowboys. Well, you just saw the Commanders. Don't like that. The Seahawks need to beat the Panthers. They'll do that. The 49ers beat the Bears. That'll be a fun game. I'll definitely watch that one. And then week 18, the Lions need to beat the Bears. So the Browns need to beat the Bears, and the Commanders need to beat the Cowboys. All the other ones, I don't feel like infinitely are impossible. But for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things to go perfect, that's a parlay I wouldn't bet a nickel on. So probably the Vikings are eliminated. It's just not mathematically cemented yet. But
if you bet like $10 on all that happening, like I wonder what you could win back.
Oh, I'll look up the odds. I don't even know how to look. I don't bet. So
I don't even know how to do that. I've never sports bet on anything.
Vikings, yeah.
But I did want to bring up that whole Zach Ertz injury because it was bad. But
It
did you
really
guys see that
was.
Kevin O'Connell reached out to him after?
Classy.
No, I didn't, but that's a great gesture.
And that's a mark of a coach that actually cares about the teams and the players, and
Yep.
it's a lot more than just a job to him. It feels like.
This is why you don't trust AI. Google Vikings bet parlay to make playoffs. AI overview. The Minnesota Vikings have been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. Have they? I need to look at the NFL playoff picture. Sorry, I'm like a mad scientist over here. I want to make sure it's in there because I'm going to take away all my kudos to that Instagram page if they just told me some bullshit and I'm speaking it out here. No, they have not been eliminated yet.
Oh wow! Colts quarterback Riley Leonard is suffering with a knee injury.
Oh, man.
Phillip Rivers, you are an Indianapolis Colts.
They
Yes.
are running out of quarterbacks.
Shit.
Man,
The Vikings are 11th in the NFC. They
This
are
is-
dead last.
this is why I don't think there should be a trade deadline. I think you should just be able to trade players all the way up until the Super Bowl, because what would a desperate Colts team try to give up right now to try to stay relevant? And what would a shitty team be willing to deal? Like, this would be so entertaining to watch unfold.
I have a great idea, and I thought about this yesterday, Kyle. I swear to God, I'm not stealing your thunder. Think about a really shitty team with a really good player.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. How about you could do one like rental, and you can't give it to the 1 seed. Like you can't give it to New England or who is the number 1 seed now, Green Bay. But let's say like a 7 seed in the AFC. They're like, hey, we're borrowing Justin Jefferson for the playoffs. How fucking cool would that be? That
Money
would
in
be sick.
Money in the bank briefcase.
Dude, the chaos that would bring. Can you imagine Jonathan Taylor going to the Bills just for the playoffs? Like, hey, I know we have James Cook, but he kind of fumbles and the Colts are ass because they lost quarterback and they lost out, whatever. Come on over, dude. Or let's say the Ravens don't make the playoffs and they're like, Derrick Henry, get your big ass in here.
But you only get them for 1 quarter. That's the thing. And you gotta pick
I can't do that. I
You
can't
gotta
do
pick
that
1
one.
quarter.
Or we do it to where if that player's contract is done after that season and they didn't make the playoffs, technically free agency starts the day your season ends.
I've joked about that too, about how every 4 years should be an uncapped season where it's like, hey,
It's like the purge.
there's no salary cap. Do whatever you want,
Oh,
but if you fuck your books up for next year, it's your own fault.
dude.
But just Just imagine Jerry Jones in an uncapped year.
That's exactly where my mind was. Like, I don't like that at all because Cowboys can do whatever they want, and that sucks.
Did you guys see that ESPN is projecting that the Cowboys are going to have to cut Diggs this offseason?
Trevon Diggs, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of see that coming. Yeah, that's.
He's still a very polarizing player. A lot of people say he's not good, that he just makes a splash play every now and then.
He is overly aggressive, but I kind of admire that.
I mean, look at our cornerback room. I would take him. It's not hard to be an upgrade.
Kyle, when you said it the other day in our chat that Darius Slay got cut from the Steelers, I was like, go pick him up. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? What's it going to hurt? It's not going to make the team worse.
I mean, I saw before this game against Washington, Minnesota elevated Dwight McGlothern again, and they already cut him once this year.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's like Colin Cowherd said it like a week or two ago. It's like, hey, if you have a really good roster, college or NFL, and you lose one of the all-time greats at coaching, don't hire within. Don't promote your quarterback coach to head coach. Don't do that shit. He's like, go out and window shop and really date. And he's like, pimp yourself out a little bit as far as the buying market. He goes, don't do that shit.
Can you guys think of an instance in the NFL where a head coach has been fired, team has done exactly what you're talking about, we promote the interim head coach, and then the interim head coach gets named the head coach the following year, and then actually sticks around and does anything notable for a duration of time? Because I'm thinking like, Vikings, hey, Leslie Frazier takes over, and Leslie Frazier gets his little spell, and nothing happens with that. Like, I can't. Maybe there's a really obvious one that I'm missing, but I can't think of an interim head coach that's like gone on to win a Super Bowl.
Even when they do well, Kyle, they still don't keep them. That's the thing. They are always trying to date up. And I get it. Like, you want to bring in the best of the best, but I kind of agree with the Cowherd take. Is like, I would at least explore my options. If you don't even make the attempt to look, you have to make the attempt to look. And then if you say, no, like, we had Bill Belichick here in Atlanta, but he wanted to demand to be the GM, and that's ultimately why we went with, was it Raheem Morris as a coach there, I think? That's why we went with him, because he's not going to try to do that job. Like, okay, you at least brought Bill in for an interview, like, I get it. But, no, we promoted the assistant to the assistant. You're like, what? That's like a couple years ago, like the Vikings.
But you never know. You never know. I mean, you go back to like the '98 era Vikings. After they move on from Denny Green, you get Mike Tice. But you had Brian Billick was your offensive coordinator. Goes on to win a Super Bowl with the Ravens. Oh. So if you would have promoted from within, and instead of keeping Tice, kept, where would that Vikings team have been? I don't know. You tell me.
I think that's a good point too, because it's a lot of the guys now, when you look at these old NFL films like documentaries, they're like, you can see like Mike Holmgren had this coach who's now been around for a while.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Like Andy Reid was on the Packers staff. Like, okay, that makes sense. But you had to have you had to stand out to keep your job, and they weren't going to skip like one or two people below because you're the new young hotshot. They definitely wanted age and longevity and tenure, right? But now in the NFL, they're like, hey, this dude, like, he's a really good defensive coordinator, and he's 30. Fuck it, bring him in. They'll do that now and won't even think about it. And it's like, I kind of like that they're taking the chance, but I do think that's a reason why we have 7 new head coaches every year.
And Minnesota's tried that with some of their coordinators, bringing in these young, inexperienced guys, and they just weren't quite ready.
No, they go on to Seattle and they look great.
Who was the one?
They were able to find their footing.
Who was the one that we got from Philadelphia that we were all excited about?
Oh, John DeFilippo right after the Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
And him and Mike Zimmer was like, fuck this guy. I hate him. Oh, Mike Zimmer was such a cancer. I love him to death. I think he was a good coach, but his personality was just sandpaper.
I hate Mike Zimmer so much. He was a good coach for like part of the time that he was here. This season would have been so much more entertaining with Mike Zimmer at head coach, because he would have thrown J.J. McCarthy under the bus so many times by now. It would have been amazing.
McCarthy wouldn't even have a name right now. He'd be quarterback.
that quarterback. He literally would go to the podium and be like, "My defense is not the problem."
I'm going to zoom out on this. We can end the show soon. So right now, the Broncos are the first in the AFC, so they keep swapping with the Patriots. Patriots had a bye, so we'll see how that shakes out. The Rams are currently the 1 seed at 10-3. The Packers number 2 at 9-3-1. Eagles are 8-4, and the Bucks are still hanging on 7-6 in the NFC South. Kind of crazy because the Panthers are 7-6. They're number 9. They're right behind the Lions, just out of the picture. With the loss yesterday, the Bears went from the 1 seed to the 7th seed.
Oh,
and
boy.
It further echoes my point to pound the table that, yes, if you win your division, you deserve a spot in the playoffs. But your record should determine what seed you get. A 9-4 team should not be the 7th seed, while a 7-6 team hosts that. I will forever die on this hill. Fix that shit immediately.
And right now, Detroit is outside the playoff picture, right?
At 8-5.
Crazy.
Hate it. I hate it so much. Put the best teams in there. Chaos is cool until you get to the divisional round and you get a 38-0 blowout and you're like, well, that game fucking sucked. And then we're in the championship games next weekend. Like, I want to see the best of the best. That's kind of the whole reason you play to win games. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, but I know that they do that whole, well, this is the way we've always done it. Like, I know that's what they're going to say. The AFC side, Broncos, Pats, Jaguars, Steelers, and the wild card teams are currently the Bills, Chargers, and the Texans snuck back in. The Colts and the Ravens are on the outside looking in there.
It's so weird not seeing Kansas City up there.
Kansas City's 10th in the AFC. They're done. Dude, I'm going to say this yesterday, too. Like, I wanted to message you guys this. I didn't know if you were watching this game. But it's weird because you have to pick certain things you'll die a hill on. Like, we talked about it tonight. Kyle, you have your opinions for developing. I'm like, fuck that. He has time. Like, we have our opinion on the thing, right? So if you wanted to pick who the best quarterback in the league is now, I think we all have a different little view and criteria. I watched Joe Burrow throw the football yesterday. Holy fucking shit, dude. And I'm talking, okay, that safety blitz off the right side, interception, it's a pick six. It was just a great play by the defender.
But there might not be someone more clutch than Josh Allen out there.
So that's my debate right now. There's 3 quarterbacks, and one of them being Joe Burrow. He's not going to be in contention for MVP because he was injured most of the year, right? But watching him throw the ball, his command, and how he changes that entire – like, it's weird. They had Joe Schmo at backup whoever the whole year, right? And then when he comes
Jake
back,
Browning?
suddenly the defense knows how to fucking play defense because they're like, well, our fucking knight in shining armor's back. We got to play. Technically, we're not eliminated. I watched Joe Burrow throw a pick six. The next time they get on the field, next throw, tip ball, interception.
Oh, yeah.
Not shaking at all. Throws 2 fucking bombs. And you couldn't have put the ball anywhere else unless you're Joe Burrow. And I'm like, he might be the best fucking quarterback in the league.
That one to T. Higgins was beautiful.
The most beautiful pass I've seen all year. And I'm like, holy fuck, he's in Buffalo. It's snowing. And he's like, I don't give a shit. I do this for a living in my sleep, right? But I'm going to make it. So if I had to pick a quarterback because all the things, age, durability, clutch, blah, blah, blah. Right now, I think it's Josh Allen. But I looked at the numbers today, boys. Somebody has 1 more touchdown than he does, and I'm counting Josh Allen's rushing touchdowns, and he has far less turnovers. Josh Allen's not the MVP, and they will crown him after yesterday. Well, he's got to be the MVP. Matthew Stafford's the fucking MVP this year. Do not get that shit twisted. Your job is to throw the ball. That's your job. I don't give a shit about your rushing stats. Call me an old school guy. I don't give a motherfucker about your rushing stats. Throw the ball accurately when I need you to. Matt Stafford has been unreal this year. And they won yesterday. They beat the shit out of the Cardinals, and nobody's talking about it.
So, it's the Cardinals, but yeah.
But you got to win that game. And you know what's great? In a couple weeks, they're going to play Seattle. I'm going to be more interested in that game than whoever the Vikings are playing. 1 million.
And in my fantasy league, I got Devontae Adams on like a budget.
There you go. How many touchdowns did he have this year? He's got double digits, right?
I want to say he's had a touchdown in like last 6 games or something like that.
Matt Stafford's unreal. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, although I do expect them to get to at least a divisional round or championship weekend.
I kind of want Stafford to win the Super Bowl and kind of get that swan song, hey, I'm going to retire moment.
Yes.
Because he's always been a damn good player. He went through it in Detroit. Correct. So seeing him kind of get the opportunity to go out like that would be a really nice send off for a damn good player.
And people were branding him as being like a loser quarterback when he was in Detroit.
Yeah.
Which was
I
so
didn't like
unfair.
that.
So unfair to say, hey, and I'm using Brady as the example. Don't fucking crucify me. I know he's the greatest of all time. But when you have a great coach and you have great coaching and you have good players, you can win a lot of games. But because Matt Stafford's in Detroit, he's supposed to carry the other 11 guys, the other 22 starters on his back. Like, how does that logic work?
And
That's not fair.
Stafford is he's the end of an era for like my
Yes.
favorite style of quarterback.
Mhm.
On the, like you said, you're not really going out there, you're not scrambling, you're the big armed Brett Favre, make your plays down the field, live and die kind of quarterback. And I love that style of play. And it's the end of an era with Stafford.
Can we do something to end the show? We haven't really. I didn't bring this up to you guys. This is just on a whim.
Is your dog already itching?
Dude, he knows.
Yeah.
He already knows. He heard me go woo, and he's like, "Is it time to go outside?" I'd like to put it out there because it's not super bold, but we still have a month of football. We still have 4 games. Give me your 4 teams you think that'll make it to championship weekend. I have Green Bay and LA, and I've got the Pats. I don't want to pick Denver, man. I want to say the Pats or the Bills. Because what I want to see is I want to see Josh Allen and the Bills versus Matt Stafford and the Rams. I think that would be an electric Super Bowl. I don't think the Bills have the firepower, and I do think the Rams have the overall better team with defense. But I would love to see Buffalo and Josh Allen just go nuts.
And I want to see the NFC Championship between the Rams and the Eagles. That would be a fantastic game.
Oh, I don't want the Eagles to win anything. I don't want anybody in the city of Philadelphia to have a shred of happiness for the rest of humanity.
But the way
I
those
hate
two
them.
teams match up is a lot of fun.
Correct, yeah, and depending on the day and how the season ends, that might just have to be the best 2 teams. Green Bay's Green Baying right now. They're very good. That Michael Parsons trade really pisses me off, but they're winning. I think it could be LA and Green Bay, and then the Pats and the Bills. Maybe the Bills will disappoint me because they lost a couple this year, but Pats look strong. That wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the AFC Championship game.
I do got kind of a weird question for you guys. Are those Guardian caps a little distracting to you guys sometimes? Because
Yes.
sometimes they look like really big.
It looks like a cartoon.
It does.
It's funny when a defender, like a guy from the secondary, lays wood and he's wearing that giant fucking thing.
Our center has a giant, which he needs a giant helmet. But yeah, you're right. It looked gigantic with the Guardian cap over top of it.
And, nothing against people trying to keep their health and their, concussions down and all that. I'm all for that. But, man, it can be a little distracting. Like, last night, a player for the Texans defense had a Guardian cap on, and I was watching him like, that guy's got a huge head. And then I look at it, and it's just like, cloth over the helmet.
Pat McAfee had the funniest comment in the offseason about those Guardian caps, and he always says, he starts off by saying, "I'm an idiot, I don't know what I'm talking about." And so I will say that too. I am also an idiot, and I also don't know what I'm talking about. But instead of putting the thing over the helmet, why can't the thing go inside the helmet and the helmet just be a little larger in the first place? Why does it have to be over top of the helmet to look extra stupid? Like why can't it just be inside of it? And you'd go, well, the helmet's a little bigger, but it doesn't have this cloth thing. I don't understand.
Well, I
why
am really glad I brought this up, though.
Yeah. Why does it got to be on the outside?
It's a good point. Maybe they thought about it, but maybe they. You know what? Part of it comes down to, Kyle. They will always go with aesthetics. If it looks crazy, they won't do it. Because I can imagine.
Is it because if you give a guy a bigger helmet, you're more inclined to lean with your helmet?
I don't think so. 'Cause they're gonna do the rules based on and you're gonna get suspended and fined. Like they're trying to coach the bullshit out of it. But I really do think it comes down to money and the way it looks. They'll be like, "Oh, it looks weird." Well, I thought you wanted player safety. Yeah, but
Hey, here's a good note to end the podcast on. I was looking up random football-related bullshit last night. Do you know? Remember the old single bar helmets that they used to use?
Oh yeah.
When do you think the last time a player in the NFL used a single bar helmet was? And it was a kicker.
95.
Oh, you're way off, Adam.
2017.
You're a little closer. I believe it was 2009. There was a kicker that was grandfathered in that was allowed to continue to wear that helmet
Oh,
until he was.
they're not allowed to wear those anymore.
No,
No.
they were outlawed. I think in like 2004 or 2006 or somewhere. And yeah, there was a kicker who was grandfathered in who got to wear it all the way until like 2009. The old single bar Gary Anderson helmet.
I mean, we didn't do a lot of breaking down of this game, but I don't think we really needed to.
They ran the ball effectively. They had a lot of jumbo sets, a lot of good use of CJ Ham.
2007, got it right here. Scott
2000
Player for the Browns.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks weird.
The old single
That
bar.
looks dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. Protect
think
your
about
face,
it-
man. He's
you
got a
think about it-
handlebar mustache, though. He looks like a
It's
biker.
badass.
So who does Minnesota got this week?
Dallas, right?
Dallas, Sunday Night Football.
I don't like primetime.
I think that defensive
Because that
line
last
is gonna
primetime
eat.
game was embarrassing.
Yeah. I think that defensive line's going to eat, and they'll be humbled again. But hey, you know what? Maybe they'll carry the same game plan over, and it'll just make the game competitive. Just make sure it's not
Yep.
That's all I'm
30,
hoping
31
for.
to 10. I don't want to watch a 31 to 10.
And I want to see
Sunday night.
turnovers limited, which was something that they accomplished this week. So, if they clean that up, at least the defense will give the offense a chance.
And hey, I do want to see Justin Jefferson get involved in the game
Yep.
more than 4 targets. He had maybe 1 or 2 catches, 11 yards
2
total out
catches, and
there.
one of them was manufactured and barely got a yard.
What they're gonna have to. I mean, if we're simplifying the playbook to this point, you gotta manufacture some bubble screens or something with Jefferson and get him the ball in space and let him try to do Justin Jefferson things with the football.
But McCarthy's got to be feeling pretty good right now after that game.
I would
He's got
think
to
so.
have some confidence. He's got to be entering these practices thinking, I can do this.
Yeah.
I wanted to put it out there, and I forgot where it was. Guess it wasn't that. Oh, for the game plan. Don't blitz Dak Prescott. He's playing the best football of his entire career this year. Don't blitz him. Do not do that and send 7 and then CeeDee Lamb's one-on-one. Don't do that. They have a very good wide receiver tandem, arguably the best in the league. I think this is the one where you show like you're going to blitz and then you just back off. Make him beat you by 1,000 paper cuts. I think that's.
And I'm going to say something that is going to come back to haunt me after this game.
Uh-oh.
But I am not scared of Dallas rushing the ball.
Ooh, you just
So
jinxed
I would
us.
want Dak Prescott to try to trust me or try to beat the Vikings through the air with accurate passes.
It's fair.
But now watch, Dallas is going to run for like 160 or something.
I want to see improvement. No, I want to see success sustainment, even if we lose. Yeah, that's the thing. They haven't won back-to-back games this year. They've lost a bunch of games in a row, but no back-to-back wins. So looking for that. That's my want for the rest of the season. Santa, give me 2 Vikings wins in a row. Spoil me with 3 if you'd like. But
Wait a minute. You're rooting for wins now?
yeah, see, that's the thing about the show, Adam. I can do whatever I want.
That's right.
No, I don't. I honestly just
I
bringing it back to where we were, I just want to see them be competitive, and I'll be happy. Whatever happens with the result is what it is. They're not going anywhere, but as long as they look competent like they should be in the game, if it's the 4th quarter and I'm like, damn, they're only down by 7, cool.
that's the thing about the Vikings. This is my statement that I'll end it on too, is that they do, like I said at the beginning of the show, such a good job of making you question your thought process every single week. Because last week we were sitting here on this very show saying they need a tank, we need a better draft pick. And you know what though? Now I'm like, does it even matter? I mean, what's the difference between having the 8th pick and the 12th pick?
But Anthony Barr sounded that horn, and then everything went wild.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, let's win a football game.
Former Dallas Cowboy Anthony Barr.
Because at the end of the day, I am a fan of the Minnesota Vikings, and you're right, Adam. When they sound the horn, I want to see my team go out there and win. I do.
Good point. It's a good thing we don't do in-game reactions. Like some people go live on Instagram and do that. The shit that you would hear me say, you guys would be like,
Oh, some
What
of
a-
those guys in Discord aren't having fun either, trust me.
I can't get in there. It only fuels my negativity to be like 10 times worse. Here we go. Let's plug it. Follow Adam at MN Viking Zombie on social media. Tell him what you got, Adam.
Oh, I'm all over the place. I'm on X, Instagram, TikTok. You can hit me up at MN Viking Zombie. And you can check out my work over on the Viking Age, where I write about the Minnesota Vikings. I edit some articles. I put some stuff up on social media. And I got a great team there that just puts out great, thoughtful, interesting content on a regular basis. So go check out the Viking Age.
Boom. Forgot to put the graphic up because I was putting lotion on my hand. There you go, the Viking Age. Click on that so you can help feed Adam's cat. Yeah.
And he does like to eat.
Hell yeah. And you can follow Kyle West at Vaguely Square on Blue Sky.
I'm
Over
looking
on
over at
Blue
him, but
Sky.
he's not showing up on the camera.
There he is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Vaguely Square, Blue Sky. Go stalk
Good
Kyle
enough.
West. Talk
Yep.
about politics and religion and
Nope.
the history of the world, all the things that you should do at the dinner table as well.
And whether or not clowns are funny. And if you don't give me one good reason why you don't like clowns.
I know what reference you're going for.
I got a tattoo this weekend. That's what I'm
Heyo.
going to share. There you
Nice.
go. That's all I got. Adam leads us out. Good show, boys. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, we'll be
Thanks
back
so much.
next week to talk about the game against Dallas and see how that went. But in the meantime, we can stay optimistic and enjoy this Vikings shutout over Washington. And we'll be back to talk about more Vikings football. In the meantime, stay classy, Minnesota.